Oh, geez. Let's see if we go live here. Let's check it out. Bright and early in the morning, I can't tell you whether or not I'm going to be able to figure this out. I'm barely awake, but I'm here to help. Well, looks like we're live. Looks like we're live. Let's just see. Up and here we go. We are live. So there is nobody here yet. It is 5:45 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, and I'm just rolling out of bed with a cup of coffee. And I found some really cool deals on Memorial Day weekend 2017, which today is May 27th, 2017. So depending on when you're watching this video in the archive, you may or may not be able to capitalize on this deal. But I found some really cool deals on some plugins, and I was going to jump on here and record a quick video, post it on my YouTube channel, and let my subscribers and everybody know about it. And then I thought, well, instead of just doing a pre-recorded video, maybe I'll jump on the live stream because I'm curious to see at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, who in the hell is going to be on here? Usually, we got a couple of people already. Look at this. Johnny Lipsham's here. Hey, Johnny, how are you? I tried to hit you up on Facebook this morning, but you didn't answer. I figured you were doing something important. Steven's here. How are you? We got 3 people here already. See how cool this is? Even at 6 o'clock in the morning, my time, you crazy people are up and about, and you guys are crazy. I love you. So anyway, what I wanted to do, I'll wait for a few more people to get here. Hey, Lewis, how you doing? This is something that I was going to do as a pre-recorded thing and throw it on the YouTube channel, but then I thought, hey, I'll jump on live and what the hell, right? I got my cup of coffee. We could almost do a questions and coffee episode right here. I was going to record one anyway, but I wanted to show you guys some cool plug-in deals. We got 6 people here now. In the US here, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you're not from the United States and you don't know that, and every holiday, right? Plug-in companies are always giving some awesome deals. And I thought this would tie in really good to the live stream that we're going to be doing tonight. Johnny and myself are going to be doing a live stream 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight, and we're going to take a look at the new PreSonus Studio One 3.5, a couple of the features in the project page, excuse me, and then we're also going to really spend a lot of time taking a look at their new FAT channel with the new space, what do they call it, space station or some kind of space something or another emulations, which is basically the LA2A, the Pultec EQ, the Neve EQ, and the 1176 compressors and EQs by PreSonus to see how they stack up against the Waves versions and the Universal Audio versions in real time, so we can all listen and see which plugins are better, worse, or just sound different, right? It's going to be really fun. We've never done this in PreSonus. I tip my hat to PreSonus for being, I think, the first DAW company to actually try to emulate these analog pieces of gear. I mean, the reason why they're doing that is because they know a lot of people use third-party plugins and they love those analog emulations, right? I mean, I do. If you're watching me for any length of time, you know that's what I exclusively use. And so that's going to be the live stream tonight. Well, lo and behold, I got up this morning and we got, 10 people here. Steven, how are you? Lewis, how are you? I noticed that at my one of my favorite plugin companies, third-party plugin companies, Audio Deluxe, and I'm going to pull up the screen in a second, has an amazing deal. And I don't know, I got to assume it's just for this weekend. And I posted it on my Facebook page already this morning, a couple of deals on the Pultec EQ, the CLA2A, and a couple other analog style plugins for like $30. I mean, they're normally $200 and they're like $30, $40. And I said, I got to share this with my audience. So I wanted to show you guys that now. So if you have not seen my Facebook page, shame on you. But I'm going to pull up my screen here in a second. I just want to show you guys, let me just share my screen here. And again, if my face is all washed out, the screen is really bright. I'm sorry. And, I just got out of bed. I can barely see straight. So anyway, let me go over to camera 3 here. And you guys should be seeing my screen shortly with my desktop with me down in the bottom kind of right-hand corner. And so if you go out to audiodeluxe.com, which is the site that I buy a lot of my plugins from, because even at full price, their prices are usually lower than the manufacturer's website. So if you go to audiodeluxe.com and create yourself an account, and again, it's free to create an account. You have to have an account to get the special pricing. Check them before you buy any plugins, before you buy them anywhere else, because they usually have the best deals and they sell every brand under the sun. But anyway, if you go to audiodeluxe.com and you just search for Waves plugins, and that's what I've done here on the screen before you. Here's all the Waves plugins that are on sale, and they're all on sale. Everything is on sale. You can see things down here. Again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, like, the Waves Kramer Pi compressor, normally $250, $29 this weekend. Fantastic deal. I'm just going to point out some of the ones that I've used, that I own, that I think are really, really good. And again, I'm showing this to you because I get so many questions around. In the top 3 questions that I get on a weekly basis, people ask me about what kind of third-party plugins should I buy for certain kinds of sounds, because they're ready to step up from their stock plugins. And I usually will recommend Slate Digital because they usually have the most affordable bundle packages. And again, Slate Digital is great. And I also turn them on to Waves plugins if you don't want to make the investment in the universal audio hardware system. Okay. So I'm going to point out some of the Waves plugins that are on sale that I personally own that I think are great deals. So the Pi compressor by Waves, the Kramer Pi compressor, is an excellent compressor. I don't have this, but I'm actually thinking about getting this. The Abbey Road collection normally is $1,200. It's on sale for $300 this weekend. I mean, it's amazing. And if you click on that, it'll show you what's in there. There's like a whole bunch of channel strips and compressors and a tape machine and all kinds of stuff. Again, the Abbey Road collection, $299 on sale from $1,200. That's a good one. I don't own that myself, but I'm thinking about picking that up. I've always wanted that because that's a collection that Universal Audio doesn't make. Let me see, what other ones do I have? Here's another great one I posted on my Facebook page, the Waves CLA 2A limiter, the LA2A emulation, $39. It's a $250 plugin. We're going to be using this tonight in our live stream. We got a bunch of people here. If you guys are asking me questions, hold on a minute, I'll get to it. This is a $39 plugin. This is normally a $259 plugin. We will use this tonight when we're comparing this to the Universal Audio LA2A, which I have, as well as the new PreSonus LA2A. So if you want an LA2A, this is a great plugin. I own this one. Let's see, what else do they have that's really, really good. Here's another great plugin. If you don't have the Slate Digital collection and you're not using the Virtual Console collection, the VCC, another alternative, and I have this, and I've done a YouTube video on this about a year ago on my channel, a review. Check it out. This is the Waves NLS console emulation. Again, $300 on sale this weekend for $49. This has 3 consoles in it, a Neve and SSL, and one of my favorites, the TG12345 console, which you don't get as part of the Slate Digital VCC, and that's the reason why I bought this. This is a fantastic plugin. If you're looking for that console emulation and you don't have Slate, this is a great, great alternative. Again, $49. It's normally $300. Excuse me. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Hope you guys find this interesting. I'm just trying to help and pass along some deals to you. Kramer Master Tape Machine, again, $50, normally $250. Great plugin. I have that as well. Here is the CLA Classic Compressor Collection, which includes, and we'll look at these tonight, it includes the LA2A that I just showed you, the LA3A, CLA3A, which is a great compressor. I own this. And also the 1176, the Blue Stripe and the Blackface. So you get 4 compressors in one collection for $150, normally $600. So if you want all the compressors, you can buy the LA2A for $39, but if you want all of them, $150, you get them all. And I own all of them, and they all sound fantastic. They're great, great, great plugins. If you're into API, here's another really, really good plugin. The API 2500 compressor, $300 normally, $49, I guess, for this holiday sale. So again, another fantastic deal. Again, you guys get the point. I'm just showing you guys plugins that I actually own and use, so I can recommend stuff that I know is really good. Here's another one that I love. This is the Waves Shep 73, the 1073 emulation. $200 normally, $49 this weekend. Another great plugin. I own this. I use it a lot. It sounds really great. I love it on drum overheads, among other things, but I tend to use it on that. What else? What else do they have? It's like all their plugins are on sale. And you could go out to the Waves website too. I'm sure they're I'm not sure if they're the same price, to be honest. Let's see. What else is in here that's really good? Oh, I think Vocal Writer's in here too. And I've done a review on that. And I always tell you in my Quick Mix series that if you don't have Vocal Writer, you should get it. I believe this weekend, here it is here, 69 bucks. It's normally 250. This plugin you should have for automating vocals. It works beautifully. I use it all the time. Great plugin. Yes, there's a review on my YouTube channel I did about a year ago. What else? What else? What else? It always brings me to the top of the page when I scroll back. Let's see. Steven, how are you? I see I'm looking at the chat quickly. Tried the new PreSonus plugins. Are they up to snuff? Steven, we're going to be doing that tonight on the live stream. Come back at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. We're going to be looking at the new PreSonus plugins against these plugins that I'm talking about. We're going to compare them side by side. Johnny Lipsham and myself are going to do this in real time. We're going to look at the new PreSonus ones and we're going to compare them to the UA stuff, Universal Audio, and these Wave plugins. And we're going to go track by track. We're going to put them side by side. Are they up to snuff? We're going to find out. I don't know because I haven't done that comparison yet. Let's see. What else is on sale that's really, really good? Here's another great channel strip that I haven't done a review yet, but I love this channel strip. It's a little funky and it's a little hard to get used to, but what a great sound. This is the EMI TG12345 channel strip. 250 bucks normally, $69 this week, and this is part of the Abbey Road Studio collection that I was talking about. This is a great channel strip. Now, it acts and it functions a little different than your traditional channel strip, and if you do get this, I would recommend that you read the manual because it could be a little confusing, but don't let that turn you off. The character you get from this plugin is fantastic. And again, I've used it, as you know, if you follow me for any length of time, I'm a big channel strip guy. I love all the Universal Audio channel strips. I have the Waves SSL 4000 collection channel strip, and I own this as well. This is a great, great channel strip. Very unique, lot of vibe, lot of really great tone. And for 69 bucks, you can't beat it. Let me see. I'll scroll back down. I hope you find this interesting. And I'm going to post this in the archive on the YouTube channel. So if you're not watching this live, you'll see it soon enough. How many people do we have here? You guys are nuts. 13. Okay, that's not too bad considering it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where everyone's from. Let me check out the chat here. Let's see. Steven, IK, what's it say? IK third? Let's see. Andrew, how are you? Andrew is in Glasgow. Wow, cool. What's a channel strip? He says, I'm a novice. A channel strip is basically, I'll just pull. Basically, a channel strip is emulating a real console. For example, like an SSL channel strip. An SSL channel strip, if you went into an old analog studio and you were working on an SSL console, each channel, say channel 1, for example, will have an input, right? A preamp, an EQ, a compressor, a gate, sometimes a limiter, and you have the tone of that entire desk. They put that in a plug-in format, so you can have the sound of the emulation of the real analog console in a plug-in format. So channel strip is basically nothing more than a compressor, EQ, and gate all in one plug-in with an input and output transformer modeled. But it gives you that sound of the old consoles. And I love that. I'm just a big channel strip guy because I'm always looking for the, I'm always trying to, create that analog kind of vibe. And I use channel strips all the time. And so that one's a good one. Let's see what else. Here's another great plugin. And someone just asked me about this the other day in a Questions and Coffee with David video. The Waves J37 tape machine. Again, 300 bucks on sale this weekend for $69. I don't own this one, but I've demoed it and it's really good. And the only reason why I didn't buy it was because I have so many tape machines between Universal Audio Slate and I have the Kramer Waves Master tape that's on sale this weekend too, and it's great. So I'm not real familiar with. I demoed it, I liked it, but I don't know a whole lot about it. But for 69 bucks, if you're looking for a good tape machine, I'm sure this is great. I'll scroll through a little bit more. What other things can I recommend to you all? Here's another one. Here's the Pultec. Again, we're going to talk about this tonight. The Puig Tech by Jack Joseph Puig, the EQ-P1A and the MEQ5. So you get 2 Pultec EQs for $49. Again, if you don't have a Pultec style EQ in your plugin collection and you're into third-party plugins, you're really missing out. Go in the last interactive mixing session that Johnny and myself did. Again, it's on the YouTube channel. We used the Pultec on some vocals, and everyone in the session agreed that how warm it makes a vocal sound. Now you could put anything through a Pultec and it sounds great. This is a great EQ. And for 50 bucks, $49, you can't beat it. We will look at this tonight against the new PreSonus EQ to see what to see how it sounds, better, worse, or different. Part of me really hopes that the new PreSonus EQs and compressors are great, and part of me really hopes they're not, because I got a lot of money invested in third-party plugins. But I know I'm sure they're going to be very, very good. Are they going to sound as good? We're going to find out. Here's another channel strip that I don't own that I think I'm going to buy this weekend. I've been waiting for this to go on sale. This is the Waves Red. This is based on the Red 17 and Red Thought 37 and the Red 51 console, again out of the Abbey Road collection. 50 bucks. $49, a $250 plugin. I'm probably going to buy this one myself. I've been wanting to check this out, but I didn't want to pay 250 bucks for it. So that's the Waves REDD Red. And again, they have little videos to people demonstrating, and you can always go out to YouTube and watch people that that have, you know, that demo these things. Oh, here's another one that I don't own, but I don't know if I'm gonna, how much money do I want to spend? But here's another another one that I think would be really good. The Waves DBX 160 compressor. This is a great compressor. I have the Universal Audio version of it, and it's really good. $39 this weekend. Again, you can't beat these deals. And no, I'm not a salesman for Waves. I don't get any commission. I'm not even a huge Waves. I use Universal Audio over Waves in a lot of times. But the Universal Audio ones and the Waves ones, the same plugin does sound different. What I find about the Waves plugins, which you can like, or I guess you can like this or not like this, compared to Universal Audio, is the Wave plugins tend to have a little bit more hype, a little bit more color to them. The Universal Audio plugins tend to be a little bit more transparent. Now, you can say that's better or worse, I don't know. It's different. So, for example, I have the Universal Audio Fairchild collection. I also have the Waves Fairchild collection. They sound different. If you want something with a lot of character and a lot of color, I would pull the Waves one before the Universal Audio one. And I seem to see that as the pattern with the Waves stuff. And again, that's not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, what else? What else can I show you? And then I'll end this video because I got a bunch of work to do tonight before the live stream. And I hope you guys are all coming for the live stream. Let's see. And again, audiodeluxe.com is where I usually check for all my plugins before I go anywhere else. Here's another great plugin. Again, this is part of the Chris Lord Alge collection. If you didn't want to buy the whole collection for 150 bucks and you want to just buy a separate one, here's the CLA 3A for $39. Fantastic on electric and acoustic guitars. This is the plugin I use 90% of the time when I'm going to compress. If I'm going to compress a guitar, this is the compressor I will use more times than not. Lots and lots of coloration, lots of great vibe, great on electric guitars and acoustic guitars, I think I mentioned. It always brings me to the top of the page and I got to scroll down again, guys. Sorry about that. Here's a plugin that I own that I like this. I don't use it a lot because this has a ton of hype in it. And I don't know how, this is the Waves V Comp. This is a Neve. I believe this is kind of a Neve emulation. I have this, I've used it. It's a little funky. It's got a de-esser in it. It's got a really unique sound. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't use it all the time. I only use it when I feel like I need a little extra something or a little unique. This is only 29 bucks. For 29 bucks, it's a hell of a deal. I've used this on master buses on occasion. It really adds a lot of color and a lot of hype. And again, I don't know how, I almost find it hard to believe that the hardware is that much color and hype. I don't know. Again, it's part of the Neve collection. I think it's a cool plugin, something you may want to consider. And if you have a Waves account, you can demo all these things, but the problem is they're not on sale for very long. That's kind of the kind of the deal there. So you may want to jump on the deals. And they do this a few times during the year. The other time that they put all these things on sale like this is around Thanksgiving time, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Let's see, what else? Hope you guys are finding this interesting. Let's see, anything else here that I own that I think is really good? I mean, there's a lot of great deals here. You guys can scroll through these yourself and see what you might like. But I'm just showing you ones that I actually have used or ones that I own that that I can recommend without steering you guys down the wrong path here. I don't want to tell you something that I'm not sure of. What else? A lot of these other ones I've never really used. But again, go out to audiodeluxe.com and check it out. Here's a plugin that I've never used, but I'm going to show it to you because we talk about if you watch any of my training products, we talk about Auto Align for drums, phase correction tool. That's about a $200 plugin. I've heard about this Waves in Phase LT. And this is only $29. Again, I don't know how it compares to Auto Align, but if this is a phase correction tool, it might be something you want to look at or consider if you're looking for phase correction and you don't want to spend $200. Here's one for $29. But I have not used this myself, so just to beware, because I don't want to steer you guys down the wrong road. But I think they also have something else. Waves has another one that's similar to Auto Align. I thought that was it. Maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. Excuse me. So it's bright and early in the morning. Let's see. Best guitar. Hi, Andrew. Let me check out the chat. Mike, I have so many UA plugins, and Waves are the best so far. I tried and Waves, but the best so far I've tried are the Orion plugs. I've never heard of those, Mike. If you're like me and you have a lot of Universal Audio and Waves, it's hard to go out and buy excuse me, guys, another set of plugins. I hear you. The Waves SSL bundle is not on sale this weekend. That's another one, the SSL 4000 collection, which I picked up recently. I bought it for $199. They're showing it on sale for $750. Don't pay $750. There are times throughout the year you can get that for $200. And if you're looking for the SSL, that is a great package. 2 channel strips in an EQ and a bus compressor, 4 plugins for that. But don't pay $750 because you can get it cheaper than that. I think that might be it. All these other plugins I don't really know by Waves. These are all kind of weird stuff. Oh, here's other stuff by IK Multimedia and stuff. They have other plugins on sale. I just wanted to show you the Waves because, again, that's the stuff that I use and the stuff that I know. And I've already posted a couple of these on my Facebook page. I highly recommend that you guys kind of, go out and check those out. And so it's audiodeluxe.com. Again, if you guys are let me get over here to camera one. Okay, so if you guys are into the third-party emulations or trying to get into these plugins, and budget is always an issue. Believe me, I get it. Budget's always an issue. This week's deal on Waves might be a good alternative for you. You can check them out. Again, we're going to look at the LA2A and this the Pultec EQ. We're going to look at those tonight in the live stream, so you guys will be able to see those in action. But trust me when I tell you, you don't have to see them in action. They're good. If you want to jump on it and get the deal, buy them. Let me take a look at the chat and see what we got going on here. We got 12 people here. Okay, that's not too bad considering this is 6 o'clock in the morning. IKB Third says, thanks for the heads up. No, you're very welcome. Again, anytime I find stuff like this, and this is why I tell you, everyone, make sure you follow me on Facebook, because I dump these things on Facebook when I find them right away. And I don't usually get on video and do this. So you don't want to miss it. But anytime I see this stuff, I go on the Facebook page. So make sure you follow me. Andrew is saying best guitar plugin. You mean guitar emulations? The best ones I've ever heard are by Universal Audio. Lots of companies make them. A lot of people will have different opinions. I am not a big fan of guitar emulation plugins. I think they sound lousy, most of them. The best ones I've ever heard are by Universal Audio. The Friedman collection, the Marshall collection, even the new Fender Tweed collection. They're about as good as it gets, as far as I'm concerned. As far as using like Guitar Rig and some of these other ones, and I've heard all of them. I've used them all. They're all of them. You can really, you can monkey around with them and get them to sound okay. But compared to a real amplifier, they're not even close. And again, I know people will disagree with me on that, and that's totally fine. We all have opinions. But someone who's a guitar player who is really picky about tone and guitar sound, and most of them are not very good. But the Universal Audio stuff, particularly the Friedman collection and the Marshall collection, are as good as anything I've ever heard, and I would use those in a recording, but anything else I wouldn't. So that's my opinion. Let's see what else we got. We got 13 people. Let me go down here. Let's see. Johnny says 15 years ago we had a Waves bundle. It's been a long time. Yeah, Johnny, you got to get back in. I know, Johnny, you said you were really pleased with the Pultec that we demonstrated the other day, and that's why I passed that along to you in a Facebook message. That Waves Pultec, even though we were looking at the Universal Audio one, the Waves one is equally as good. So if you're interested, Johnny, go pick that up. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Yeah, Mike says agreed. The best guitar is a cab mic with a 57 and a ribbon mic. I agree. I mean, again, it depends on what you're doing. A lot of cats don't have the don't have the what's great about the I wouldn't say great, but why the guitar emulation or the guitar simulator stuff are so popular is because a lot of people don't have the ability to have a wide variety of amps in their studio. I mean, I get it. But again, if you really want authentic guitar tones, especially talking about clean sounds, okay, maybe the emulations, you can get away with some of them. They make some, passable ones, I guess. But for high gain or mid gain or like rock music, metal music, no, most of them are terrible, I think. Like even the PreSonus Ampire. And again, I love PreSonus. I don't like the plugin. I've used it. I think it sounds terrible. I mean, it does. I mean, to me, again, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't use it. I'm not saying you can't dial in good tones. I'm sure you can if you play around with it long enough. I plugged it in when it first came out, tried it, played a few chords for it, shut it right off. I said, this thing sounds nothing like a real guitar amp to me. But that's not a knock against PreSonus. All of them sound that way. The only ones that I've said that I've ever heard sound really, really good are the UA ones, and they're a lot more expensive. And so, they have licenses with the actual amp companies. So, for example, when Universal Audio did the Friedman collection, they have agreements and worked along with Dave Friedman, the guy who designed the amps. They worked together to make sure that they were right. Where a lot of these companies, they don't always get the permission of the companies that they're trying to emulate. They don't even call the amps by their real names. They make up names and they try to model something that's kind of in the same vein. It's just like when you buy like a Line 6 pod or one of those multi-effects processors. Most of them are terrible. Are there some good ones out there? Yes, if you want to get into like the Kempers or like the Axe effects, those are $4,000 units. Those are not cheap little units. Most of the stuff that's inexpensive, affordable, are not very good. But again, it depends on what you're doing. If you're not real picky about it and you just want something that's passable, then it's totally cool. I'm not saying don't use them, but if you're really looking for real distorted rock guitar tones, if you can't use a real amp, then I would say use again, if you're really into guitar, go out and buy yourself a little Universal Audio interface and buy the amp collections, and you'll have all the guitar tones you'll ever need. Or if you're really into guitar and you need to have a lot of amp tones and you don't have the money to go out and buy all these tube amps and you don't want to mic things up and all that hassle, go get a Kemper. I've used a Kemper. It's fantastic. It's expensive, but if you're really looking for high-end guitar tones, it's great. And you could do everything DI direct, and it sounds amazing. So that's my opinion for what it's worth. You asked, and I'll tell you the truth, or I'll tell you what I think. Let's see. We got 12 people hanging out. Let's see. IK30, yeah, most people besides us, wouldn't notice the differences between real and emulators. That's very good point. It depends. It's a good point. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I still wouldn't use emulations. That's just my opinion, but you're not wrong in what you're saying. What you're saying is exactly true. Here's the analogy, because we're talking about vintage plugins, right? Where I'm on here at the crack of dawn telling you about, Pultecs and LA2As. Same thing. At the end, the listener's not going to know whether you used an LA2A compressor on the vocal or whether you used a PreSonus compressor on the vocal, right? No one's going to know, and no one's going to care. And most people don't even know what the hell you're talking about when you say LA2A, right? Here's the thing. The thing about these kinds of plugins and why they're different is they have their own character and sound to them. And on one individual track, you're right, it may not make much of a difference. But when you use these kinds of things across an entire mix on multiple tracks, it creates a sound and a tonal, I call it a tone characteristic that the listener's not going to go, oh, I can hear that plugin, or oh, I can hear that emulation. But it gives the whole sound just a vibe, something that you don't even know what it just makes it. It just kind of, it's hard to describe. You know, if you want to know what it is, and again, I don't know how old you are, but if you're as old as me, if you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s, go back and pick some of your favorite records from the 60s and 70s. You know, when you used to have vinyl, remember those big black things with a hole in the middle? You stuck it on a turntable, and you have the warmth of the vinyl, what vinyl sounds like, and then go buy that same favorite vinyl record, go buy that in a CD and listen to them side by side. The difference there is the same kind of vibe or difference when we talk about these plugins and emulations. It's that kind of analogy, I think. You know, forgetting the little cracks and pops in the vinyl. But when you listen to a vinyl record that was done in an analog studio, and then you go listen to that same thing on a CD, even though that CD was recorded in an analog studio, there is a difference. There is. Do it side by side and you will hear the difference. It's as obvious as can be. That's how I kind of compare this. Sort of. Hope that makes sense. Let's see. Andrew, Crystal, I think you mean, yeah, it says, I think you mean the feel the sound as opposed to hear the sound. Yeah. I think you're right. You know, it is 12 minutes after 6 in the morning. My thoughts are not all there yet, but no, you're right. It's a feel thing. You can't just put your finger on it. You know it when you hear it. And when you've been hearing it for a long time and then you take it away, you instantly notice it. And that's what it is. But, you know, again, he makes a good point. The average person's not going to know the difference. That's true. That's true. Mike says, nothing like 2-inch analog, but I love my rig now. And sometimes I use my analog tape machine for vocals and drums. Cool. Yeah, 2-inch analog is really cool. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Mike says the Line 6 Helix is quite a bit better than the Pod stuff, but a real amp is really great. Yeah, I've heard about the Helix and I haven't used it. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos. Again, I'm not in the market for one, so I don't spend a lot of time researching these things. My guitar rig, again, is simple. It's real stripped. I mean, and I've used a lot of stuff. I mean, I use, you might be able to see it over my shoulder. I use a Friedman with a 212 cabinet with a very minimal amount of pedals. I get all the gain, all the drive out of the amp, and I use a reverb, a delay, and a boost, an overdrive boost for maybe solos to give it a little bit more crunch. That's it. And that sounds, you turn it on, you put the EQ right up the middle, tweak it in, and you got a great sound just like that. There's no menus, there's no programming, there's no futzing around. It just works, and that's just for me. But that's it. That's cool. Mike says, funny, some of my clients are shocked I still use tape. Well, again, you know, you like what you like. And tape, you know, tape's expensive. You know, having a tape machine's not cheap, but there is a certain sound to it. And that's great. I wish I had a tape machine. I probably say that until I have a tape machine, and what a hassle that would be, but it would be cool to play with one. Let's see. Peter, thoughts on Waves? Mastriani plugins? Oh yeah. You know, I don't know. I don't use their plugins. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never used that, Maserati plugins. I've never used them, so I couldn't tell you. I'm sure they're good. The Chris Lord Algae stuff that I have and the Jack Joseph Puig stuff I have is really good, so I would imagine it's good. Again, you could demo all the stuff, but you know, on sale, you may want, you know, you pick one up and you try it, you know, kind of sight unseen. I might do that with the Red console. I might do that for $30. I'd be crazy not to try it. Mike says the Maserati plugins aren't bad. Like them better than the CLA plugs. Well, there you go. I can't say that because I don't use them. I use the CLA stuff and I like the CLA stuff. But yeah, there you go. Thanks, Mike, for chiming in on that. Peter says, okay, Mike, I think I'll buy them now while they're on sale. Yeah, go. Yeah, Peter, I would. I mean, you're not going to, again, they do have these deals. You'll see another large Wave sale coming up towards the end of the year. But if you want them now, you know, now's the time to do it. Let's see. Mike says, "You're welcome. Great channel." Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I hope I see you tonight for the live stream. That's great. You know, thanks everyone. There's 12 people still hanging here. I know we've been on here 35 minutes. Well, I'm not going to shoot my questions and coffee video. I'm just going to do this now. So, oh boy. I don't want to lose my voice for later tonight. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys all kind of hanging out. Again, I'm going to just throw this up on the YouTube channel. I'm going to put it out on Facebook so people can, who haven't seen this, will see that these plugins are on sale. And if they want to check them out, fantastic. And if they don't, that's okay too. Once again, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, we're doing a live stream where myself and Johnny Lipsham, Johnny Scotland, my buddy, we're going to do some comparing of the plugins we've just been talking about with the new PreSonus analog emulations. And then Johnny, if we can Skype him in and make it all work, he's going to show us and go over the project page in Studio One, which I guess is a lot of improvements in version 3.5, of which I know nothing about at this point because I haven't had time to look at it. So I'm going to let Johnny educate myself as he's educating all of you as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll do question and answer and we'll do all kinds of stuff. And this is not our interactive mixing session. This is just our regular live stream. We're going to look at some plugins. We're going to hang out together. We're going to talk for a few hours. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing another interactive mixing session where we'll pull up another mix. We'll use a different set of plugins, and then the community that's joining us can help make all the mixing decisions and mix the song like we did last time. That was a lot of fun. So if you don't know what the interactive mixing is, the live broadcast, go to the YouTube channel. You'll see where I posted the videos, and that's a lot of fun too, and people really seem to enjoy that. So me and Johnny had a lot of fun doing that. So I think what I'm going to do now, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to head off because I have to get some stuff done before I get my day going. And that's it. And that'll be cool. So again, go out to audiodeluxe.com, create yourself an account, and jump on these Wave plugins if you're interested. And if you're not interested, that's okay too. And I hope to see all of you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. So until later on, this has been Dave from homerecordingmadeeasy.com. See you guys later. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining me.